They say the fastest compost requires machines, heavy tumblers, plastic bins, temperature probes, all costing hundreds of dollars. But one overlooked material, hiding in every home, outperforms them all. Not a gadget, not a chemical, just cardboard. Soaked, stacked, and alive. Gardeners who tried this saw harvests up to 40% faster, richer soil, and worm counts that exploded six-fold. And the secret isn't in what cardboard adds, it's in what it holds. But wait, before you run to your recycling bin, I need to warn you. Most people do this wrong. They turn their garden into an ugly landfill. And worse, they invite termites right into their home's foundation. In this video, we aren't just revealing how humble boxes beat high-tech gear. We are uncovering the stealth sponge protocol, a method that transforms kitchen scraps into black gold in record time, while keeping your home safe and your garden looking like a luxury resort.
In a quiet corner of the city, a controlled field trial put this strange low-tech method to the test. 12 raised beds stood side by side, each one measuring 4 by 8 feet. 6 were built the old-fashioned way, rich compost from expensive tumblers, carefully turned and measured. The other 6 followed the cardboard lasagna method, soaked boxes, kitchen scraps, alternating layers of greens and browns. Sunlight, watering, and soil were kept identical. No extra fertilizer, no hidden advantage. By mid-season, the difference was impossible to ignore. Tomatoes in the cardboard beds reached higher and fruited earlier. They produced an average of 22 pounds per bed, compared to just 15.5 from the traditional compost tumblers. Bush beans, 10.2 pounds versus 7.1. Lettuce, 45 heads against 32. Each harvest was weighed, logged, and verified to ensure accuracy. Numbers measure yield, but what happened beneath the surface told the deeper truth. A hidden system, more alive than any plastic bin could ever recreate. Organic matter in the cardboard beds jumped from 2% to 3.2%, nearly double the gain of the control beds. But most impressive was the explosion of life. Earthworm counts soared from 3 per shovel at the start to 18 by the end. Observers described finding a dozen worms in a single handful of soil, a dramatic improvement rarely seen even in established gardens. What cardboard offered wasn't just compost, it was life, amplified.
To understand why soaked cardboard performs so well, we have to go underground. Shannon Rauter, a master gardener at Oregon State University Extension, explains it simply. Corrugated cardboard acts like a living sponge beneath the surface. Those tiny ridges between the sheets, the same ones that give boxes their strength, trap 2 things soil life needs most: air and water. Microbes, fungi, and earthworms thrive in this microclimate. The damp cardboard keeps the compost from drying out, while the air pockets prevent it from turning sour or rotting. This balance creates an environment where decomposition speeds up exponentially. As scraps break down above, the cardboard below holds steady humidity, feeding billions of bacteria that chew through organic matter at a remarkable rate. Meanwhile, earthworms, drawn by the dampness, begin burrowing through the layers. They mix materials and aerate the bed. Their tunnels expand the cardboard's network of pores, and their castings enrich the soil with nitrogen. Rauter describes the effect perfectly. Cardboard acts like a mattress for soil life. It holds water and oxygen, so worms stay where they're needed most and multiply like crazy. The result is a soft, breathable compost bed that becomes its own ecosystem. It accelerates decomposition, suppresses weeds, and eliminates odors, even in the heat of midsummer. But independence demands awareness, because not all cardboard is created equal. The same material that transforms soil can also harm it. depending on what it's made of. The golden rule of the stealth sponge method is this: filter your inputs. For compost beds, use only plain brown corrugated shipping boxes. Never use glossy, waxed, or heavily printed cardboard. Those shiny coatings often contain PFAS, known as forever chemicals, along with heavy metals and synthetic dyes. They don't break down. Instead, they linger in the soil. And worst of all, they can be absorbed by root crops like carrots or potatoes. Before layering, strip every box clean. Remove tape, labels, and staples. Even small bits of plastic can slow decomposition and leave unwanted trash in your food garden. Think of it as editing your ingredients. The cleaner the input, the purer the soil. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't start in laboratories. They begin behind apartment buildings. After years of wrestling with this heavy, rusting compost tumbler, I decided to try something different. That machine promised perfect soil, but it mostly delivered frustration. It cost me nearly $400, not counting the hours I spent sweating, turning it, and unclogging it every few days. The results? Fine, but never impressive. About 14 pounds of tomatoes at season's end. Last spring, I skipped the bin entirely. I gathered 6 discarded shipping boxes from the recycling pile, soaked them thoroughly, and layered them with kitchen scraps and grass clippings. Nothing fancy, just cardboard and leftovers. By mid-August, the garden told its own story. The tomato plants grew taller. They fruited earlier. And by harvest time, the scale read 20 pounds, a 43% increase over my best season. The total cost? About $5 for a bag of clippings from a neighbor. But what struck me most wasn't the yield. It was the silence. No turning, no smell, no equipment to fight with. Just quiet abundance, built from waste. I began to wonder if this wasn't just a gardening trick, but a glimpse of how nature repairs itself when we stop trying to control it.
Now let's get to work. Here is the Stealth Sponge Protocol. 3 simple steps. Step 1. Activate the sponge. Don't just throw dry cardboard on the ground. Soak it. Drench it until it's soft. You want to create a welcoming environment for worms from day 1, not a dry barrier. Step 2. The safety buffer. This is the critical detail most tutorials miss. Cardboard is carbon. Damp carbon attracts life, including termites. If you lay cardboard right against your siding, you are building a bridge for termites to march straight into your home's foundation. Our rule is to keep a safety buffer of at least 3 to 5 feet away from any wooden structure. Pro tip: sprinkle a line of wood ash or agricultural lime around the border. It acts like a natural barrier to keep unwanted insects out. Once safely positioned, start layering like lasagna. Wet cardboard, then greens like veggie peels, then browns like dried leaves. Build it up to about 18 inches high. And here is step 3, the camouflage layer. Most people stop after layering. They leave a pile of soggy brown boxes exposed in the yard. It looks like trash, and your neighbors won't like it. To activate stealth mode, cover the top layer with wood chips or clean straw, about 2 inches thick. This coat does 2 things. First, it locks in moisture. Second, it makes your bed look professional, like it was installed by an expensive landscaper. No one knows there's recycling underneath. That is the art of the stealth sponge. Even the best systems need fine-tuning. If your bed starts to smell sour, don't panic. It's not failing. It's just suffocating.
Add a dry, brown layer, like leaves. Then use a garden fork to poke deep holes. Air channels are the cure. Oxygen will clear the smell in days. If decomposition stalls, throw in a handful of garden soil or fresh scraps to jumpstart the microbes. But the biggest question is, when can I plant? The answer depends on where you live. Temperature drives decomposition. If you are in a warmer climate, zones 8 and up, this bed will cook fast. In just 2 to 3 months, it's ready to plant. But if you are in the north, zones 3 to 7, be patient. Cardboard needs time. The best strategy is overwintering. Build your bed in the fall, cover it with your camouflage layer, and let it sit under the snow. By spring, the trash will vanish, leaving you with a bed of dark, warm, fluffy soil, ready for your first seeds.
After seeing these results, the cost gap is impossible to ignore. A new smart bin can run you anywhere from $250 to $600, not counting repairs. The cardboard method costs almost nothing. For renters, students, or anyone on a fixed income, it's a revelation. No heavy machines, no power source, no permanent structures. Take the money you save and invest it in what really matters: high-quality heirloom seeds. Now, treat your stealth sponge bed like an experiment. Record how long it takes from seed to harvest. Count the worms in a single shovel of soil. Track the hours you save by not turning a compost bin. These numbers matter. By sharing your results, you join a growing network of citizen scientists. We're proving that small-scale, free methods can make a massive environmental impact. Each bed becomes a microlab, and every gardener a researcher. Even soil scientists were astonished. This process turned packaging waste into a living system, filtering water, storing carbon, and multiplying life. It is composting stripped to its essence, efficiency born from simplicity. With the stealth sponge method, we achieved the perfect trifecta: 40% higher yields from steady moisture, total home safety thanks to the termite buffer, and a high-end look thanks to the camouflage layer. It's a reminder that innovation doesn't always mean invention. Sometimes it means rediscovery. Simple materials, cardboard, scraps, and soil, are outperforming high-tech systems and reshaping how food is grown. The question isn't whether it works. The data proves it does. The only question is, will you choose to use it? If you try this method, share your results in the comments. Your experience could inspire the next gardener to start. And if you found this video helpful, share it with someone who thinks composting has to be complicated or expensive. Happy gardening, and I'll see you in the dirt.